Hey everyone, Ryan here. So it is time now that of this season once again when we look back on the movies of 2021 to determine what is our favorite movie. So I've done this in the past and I've really had a really fun time usually doing this to give my top 5 favorites of the year, of course. And since we are at the beginning of this year, I'm going to go ahead and start off with my number 5 movie, which is Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, if you saw my shirt, you had to say, the movie Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be somewhere on my list. And yes, it falls at number 5 in the line. I love this movie a lot. And since this is at number 5, what are you probably scratching your head saying, what are my other movies? But anyways, before I get to my other movies, let me talk about Godzilla vs. Kong, because I really enjoyed this film. I think this is one of the better films. I know there's been a lot of Godzilla and Kong movies as it is. I think Godzilla even rules even more over Kong because he's got more movies at the theaters these days. But I think it's time we start getting more into King Kong to find out more. We had Kong Skull Island, which I really liked a lot. I think that was actually the last movie we actually got before we actually got this Godzilla vs. Kong. And we always we were wondering in this movie who would be the biggest and biggest of its kind, and who will actually be the monster on top. Monsterverse, anyways. I should probably say that. This is a fun Monsterverse, and we got to find out. If you guys have not checked out the movie, I strongly recommend it because I'm about to give a little spoiler of the movie because I thought this movie was great. And the way that this movie ended, it kind of shed me a tear a little bit because I really thought the challenge between Kong and Godzilla was a good fight. And it's just, maybe I won't spoil it for you guys if you haven't seen it because I'm trying to give recommendations as well too. If you have not seen these movies on my list, check them out. But I really thought Godzilla vs. Kong was one of a kind. I'm really excited to see a film like this. It's always fun going to theaters. And to give you this, letting you guys know this too, my first movie back after this COVID-19, believe it or not, Godzilla vs. Kong was my first movie back in the movie theaters ever since I think I was out of the movie theaters for 7 months. That's a long time for me. And this was the movie that was my big return back. And it was a big return back in a big way. And it did not disappoint in any way at all. So, number 5, Godzilla vs. Kong. So, let's move on to my number 4 movie. Okay, so my number 4 movie choice of the year is The Last Duel. If you guys have not heard of this story, okay, so we got top leading actors in this movie. We have Matt Damon and Adam Driver. If you guys know who Matt Damon is, don't you? And Adam Driver, if you've not heard of him before, if you know the Star Wars universe, he was the villain in that movie. And it's hard to tell who's the good and who's the bad guy in this movie. It seems like it's one of those stories that really tells the story of its own. And we have Jodie Comer, who is actually the female lead in this as well. This whole story is interesting as it is because Jodie Comer's character in this movie gets raped, and she's accusing, which is Adam Driver's character, which is something like Chris, something like that. And the story really gives really good detail, in other words, I gotta say, because it gives 3 different point of views. 3 point of views from each of these characters, to Jodie's character, Adam's character, and Matt's characters as well. So this is break down into 3 different stories as it is. The movie's 2.5 hours long, but this movie does not drag. The acting in this is marvelous, I gotta say. It's worthy as it is. So the story pretty much is, you remember King Charles VI, he declares Jean Knight, which Jean Knight is actually Matt Damon, to settle his dispute with this whiz guy, which is Adam Driver. And what's that? You hear that last duel in the title? So they have to face down with this last duel on the horses, trying to end each other at the last step of who or what. Is this how they settle murder back in the old days? I guess it is. But anyways, The Last Duel lies at number 4 on my list. And let's go to my number 3 choice of 2021. Okay, so at number 3, The Quiet Place Part 2. Okay, so I really wasn't expecting too much from this sequel because I really loved A Quiet Place, which came out a while back ago. That was kind of scratching my head once again. How are they going to continue this story? Is this movie really should be set up as a sequel? And I wouldn't be surprised since it's called Part 2. They're probably going to make a Part 3 now. But anyways, the reason this movie is on my top list because I really thought this was really entertaining as it is. It was different format as it is from A Quiet Place. Because if you remember, if you guys have not seen A Quiet Place, it pretty much, The Quiet Place, this really describes the movie as it is. Alien creatures come down to the earth. And the way they actually attack is if they hear noise, they will attack you. So you have to be quiet all times or else you're going to get it. You're going to wind up dead. But in A Quiet Place, it's a Part 2. It's a different story. It's still these quiet creatures attacking on sound as it is. But there's more people in this. It seems like in the first Quiet Place, it was just a small cast. And it's a cast, and the second one was really wide into more actors and characters in this one. But it was well-developed characters in this movie. I was kind of wondering, too, what was going to happen with the direction of this movie, but I thought it was well done. I know it's a short movie, but it also gave us at the same time some story theory of these creatures coming down and why they're actually here. So they actually gave us some sort of a prequel. I shouldn't say this is a prequel, but they actually give us in the beginning of the film why these creatures actually came to Earth. So this is really probably the best thriller I've seen in a while. It's a continuation from A Quiet Place, and I just feel this was a real deserves a sequel from me. So let's move on to my number 2 movie. Okay, so my number 2 movie is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. One of the best Marvel movies I've seen in quite a while, I gotta say. My favorite movie of all time in this Marvel universe has been Iron Man, which is Iron Man is actually the first movie that actually started us all. But now that we're in phase 4 of this whole thing with the Avengers, maybe coming more down into the line in the next couple of years with different characters as it is, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which I thought was outstanding. The special effects and everything, the story, the acting was amazing. It's just great to see a new, different story as it is. It just brings so much to the screen. This was a really fun movie to see on the big screen, and I had a really good time. When I was in the theater with everybody, I was during the time it was actually sold out when I think about it. I saw it on the IMAX, and that lived up to my expectations on the IMAX. They filled up the whole screen. Well, maybe little small portions that they didn't actually fill up, but it was pretty much to the whole screen of the 6-story screen. And I had a heck of a time with it. I know everybody else in that theater loved it because they were cheering at certain points and everything. Kind of when I went to see Spider-Man No Way Home, it was the same case on certain situations I won't talk about. But Shang-Chi lived up to its expectations. I'm really happy to see this movie light at my number 2 movie of the year. And you'd think this one would have been my number 1 movie, but it's not. This one, my number 1 movie coming up, I'm about to talk about, is a movie that is pretty remarkable. So let's get to my number 1 movie. We are down to my number 1 movie of 2021. Any guess out there what it might be? I mentioned a lot on this list as it is. You're probably wondering, why is that movie not number 1 on his list? So let me get a little drum roll out there if I can hear it. I'm not hearing anything out there. Might have to do it myself. And my number 1 movie of 2021, the movie is called Last Night in Soho. And I really was impressed with this film. Edgar Wright directed this film. I recognize his name. He has done movies like Baby Driver. And if you have not seen it, I recommend that as well. But the movie, the direction, Edgar's direction in this movie is this perfection at its best. Thomas McKenzie is the lead actress in this. We have Anna Taylor-Joy, and we also have Matt Smith. If you're not familiar with Matt Smith, he's actually been a doctor in Doctor Who. I've watched Doctor Who for a very long time now, and he's been a great doctor. And just, since he's not the doctor anymore, I'm glad to see him actually getting out there and acting as it is. Morbius, which has not came out yet, Matt Smith will actually be in that movie, so I'm actually looking forward to that. Anyways, McKinsey was actually the lead character in this. She's a fashion designer that goes to Paris and moves into a place. And at first, the place gets a little too noisy, so she has to move into a different apartment. But still, there's something wrong with the apartment. She has, she's seeing things, and she's actually dreaming of weird dreams of the past and everything. And it's one of those movies that just makes you really think, I gotta say. This is where Anna Taylor-Joy actually comes in, because McKinsey's character is actually dreaming. She's actually dreaming of Joy. Oh yeah, I would love to dream about this as well too. But anyways, my whole idea about this, and telling you, Joy is a character, I should say, from the past, Yeah, from a long time ago. And she's actually picking up little clues as it is of what actually happened to her, because it seems like she might have died or something like that. And Mackenzie's character once again is trying to determine what happened to her. It's a mystery. It's a mystery thriller, I should say, and it's at its best, I gotta say. So if you guys have not seen this movie, I would strongly recommend it. It goes a totally different direction, I gotta say, at the end of the film. It gets a little scary as it is, but every character in this nails the part. The acting is outstanding. It's just Mackenzie and Joy are up there as one of my best ladies out there for actors. It's incredible what to see with these two. And Matt Smith, once again. Anna Taylor-Joy is going places as well too. She's been in a lot of things. The Queen's Gambit that she was on Netflix. It's just amazing how great of a talent she's got. She was in The New Mutant too, when I would think about it too. She's going places, I gotta say. Mackenzie's actually, if you haven't seen Old from Last Duel just as well too. She was in that film just as well. That's a weird movie just as well. But anyways, this is Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho is my big number one movie of 2021. So what do you guys think of this list? Did you like what you saw? Have you heard of these movies before? Let me know. Leave some comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. I'd like to know too, if any of my movies did not place your top 5 list, leave some comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. What was your favorite movie of 2021? So anyways, I'm going to start wrapping things up saying, my name is Ryan. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time at the movies. Thank you for watching.